1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. 28. Moon, pumpkin, pumpkin, moon. Pumpkin, pumpkin, moon. Pumpkin, pumpkin, moon. Pumpkin, that's right. October 28th. Good. Pumpkin Fiesta. Old Juana grew the biggest, roundest, and orangest pumpkins in the whole province of San Miguel. For as long as anyone could remember, she had won the special pumpkin crown at the big fiesta each year. Everyone in her village was proud of old Juana, all except her neighbor, foolish Fernando. I will discover old Juana's secret, and this year my pumpkins will be the finest at the fiesta, Fernando boasted to his pet bull, Toro. At planting time, Fernando followed old Juana to Pumpkin Hill and hid behind a bush. He watched as Juana and her little burro, Dulcita, plowed the field. Old Juana broke the clods of soil with her hoe until they crumpled like fresh cake in her hands. Her faded cotton dress fluttered in the cool spring breeze. Her big straw hat cast a pool of shadow on the freshly tilled soil. Old Juana bent so low that her chin almost touched her knees as she carefully planted plump white pumpkin seeds, 1, 2, 3, into a mound. Foolish Fernando watched and watched. Then he ran home as fast as his skinny legs could carry him. Early the next day, Fernando began hoeing his plot of land. He wore a faded cotton dress and a big straw hat. He quickly scattered seeds in every direction. I looked just like old Juana today, foolish Fernando said, scratching Toro behind the ears. I'm sure that's the secret to her pumpkins. Do you think the secret to her pumpkins is foolish Fernando dressing like old Juana? Soon the warm spring rains came. The vines on old Juana's pumpkin hill grew strong. Their twisting tendrils hugged the ground. Fernando looked at his scrawny vines. Could there be another secret, he wondered? The next morning, when old Juana and Dulcita passed by carrying heavy jugs of water from the well, Fernando left his favorite spot in the pepper tree and followed them to Pumpkin Hill. Agua, agua, water, water, my beauties. Old Juana's words carried on the warm wind as she gave each plant a cool drink. Butter babies, she cooed to each yellow blossom. Open your faces to the sun, invite the honeybees to visit you. Soon you will grow to be fat, round pumpkins. See, yes, Fernando cried. When he got home, he put on the faded cotton dress and his straw hat. Fernando scooped some water into an old clay pot. He ran back to Pumpkin Hill. Agua, agua, he called. Water, water, my beauties. He splashed a few drops of water on his plants. Butter babies, butter balls, buttercups. A drop of water landed here, another splashed there. Big butters, baby cups, butter-ups, Fernando said. He talked to his pumpkins until the sun set. Before he went to bed, Fernando danced a little jig. I know the secret of Pumpkin Hill, he told Toro. I looked like old Juana and talked like her too. I will wear the pumpkin crown this year. Do you think talking like old Juana is the secret to growing the pumpkins? All the long hot summer, old Juana and Dulcita carried water to Pumpkin Hill. The yellow blossoms turned into baby pumpkins. A few grew to be as large and as round as wagon wheels. Old Juana named her 3 finest pumpkins. Gorda, who was the chubbiest, Linda the prettiest, and Blush Bottom for her color. Fernando talked to his plants, but he often forgot to water them. Only a few blossoms turned into small green pumpkins. Something is not right, he said. I will watch old Juana one last time. Fernando ran to Pumpkin Hill and hid. He watched as old Juana and Dulcita carefully picked insects off the vines. Por supuesto, of course, he cried. Why didn't I see it before? Toro will have to help me. The next morning, Fernando gathered straw and twine. He went to his field, pulling Toro behind him. Foolish Fernando plucked one hungry bug from one leaf. Toro stood near him. Embarrassed, his head hung low. Well done, declared Fernando that evening. I know all the secrets now. I looked and talked just like old Juana, and you, my precious pet, looked just like Dulcita. I'm sure my pumpkins will be the finest at the fiesta. But Toro charged away to the furthest corner of the field and did not come back even at midnight. Poor Toro. By autumn, old Juana's biggest pumpkins, Gorda, Linda, and Blush Bottom, had all turned the color of the harvest moon. Fernando's pumpkins were small, shriveled, and green. The night before the fiesta, Fernando crept among the vines of Pumpkin Hill. With a whack and a chop, he cut Gorda, Linda, and Blush Bottom from their vines and heaved them into his cart. Fernando just stole. What is he up to? At dawn on Fiesta Day, old Juana and Dulcita arrived at Pumpkin Hill. Old Juana looked at the spot where her beautiful pumpkins had grown. She could not believe her eyes. Where are my children? She cried. Who has stolen my beauties? She searched every corner of Pumpkin Hill. When she was sure they were nowhere to be found, old Juana took a knife and bent over the vines where Gorda, Linda, and Blush Bottom had grown. With heavy hearts, old Juana and Dulcita traveled the dusty road to the fiesta. When they arrived, they heard music and cheering. Pushing through the crowd, old Juana spied Gorda, Linda, and Blush Bottom. There, sitting proudly behind them, grinned foolish Fernando. The mayor held the pumpkin crown over Fernando's head. Stop! Stop! Old Juana cried. The music ceased. The crowd was silent. All eyes were on old Juana. Those are my pumpkins, she cried. A look of shock spread through the crowd. What proof do you have that these are your pumpkins? Asked the mayor. I tilled the soil and planted the seeds on Pumpkin Hill. I carried water to the plants every day. I removed the insects that ate the leaves, Juana replied. Perhaps so, said the mayor, but you must show us proof. The pumpkins are mine, said Juana. I can prove it. She reached deep into her pocket and pulled out the stubs of the vines, where each pumpkin had been cut. Here is Gorda's and Linda's. See how it fits her like a little cap? And this one belongs to my precious Blush Bottom. A murmur swept the crowd. These are indeed old Juana's pumpkins, shouted the mayor. He placed the crown on old Juana's head. The crowd let out a roar. Viva Juana! Viva Juana! They chanted. Long live Juana! Long live Juana! Foolish Fernando was about to sneak away when the mayor scooped him up and brought him to old Juana. Fernando stood before her, his head bent low. I'm sorry, Juana, said Fernando. I was wrong to take your pumpkins. Foolish, foolish Fernando, said old Juana. Do you really want to grow beautiful big pumpkins? Si, shouted Fernando. Will you pay attention and do as I say? Asked old Juana. Si, te prometo. Yes, I promise you, shouted Fernando. Well, said old Juana with a smile, then I will teach you. And old Juana taught foolish Fernando the secret of Pumpkin Hill. And that is Pumpkin Fiesta. The Tortoise and the Hare. This is for Wednesday's activity. So, kids, I'm going to read one line very slow, and then you are going to read the line very fast. Once upon a time, there was a tortoise and a hare. Tortoise was friendly and quiet. He did everything slowly. Hare was flashy and rude. He did everything quickly. Hare liked to tease Tortoise about being so slow. When Tortoise ate breakfast, Hare said, "By the time you finish your last bite, it will be dinner time." When Tortoise worked in his garden, Hare said, "By the time you pick those spring flowers, it will be winter." One afternoon, Hare followed Tortoise to the store. Hare teased him on the way. "By the time you get there, the store will be closed," he said. "You're so slow, I could beat you at a race, hopping backwards on one paw." "But I could never beat you, Hare," said Tortoise. "Yes, you could," said Tortoise's friends. "All you need is a little help." "Then you will race me, Tortoise?" asked Hare. Tortoise pulled his head into his shell. "I don't want to," he said. "You've got to," said his friends. "You've put up with that nasty Hare long enough. We think you can win." Tortoise didn't want to disappoint his friends, so he finally agreed to race against Hare. Tortoise only had 2.5 weeks to get in shape before the big race. Rooster helped him out at the gym. Raccoon cooked him healthy meals. Frog went jogging with him every morning. By the day of the race, Tortoise was ready. Animals from all over the county came to watch the tortoise and the hare. Rooster read aloud the rules and described the course. "Attention, everyone! The race will begin when I sound this gong. The 6-mile course is marked by red flags. The first one to reach the finish line wins. Runners, take your mark. Get set. Go!" Raccoon sounded the gong. Hare bolted out of sight before Tortoise had taken his first step. The crowd roared and cheered as Tortoise inched forward. Hare was so far ahead that he decided to stop at Bear's house for something cool to drink. Hare rested and sipped lemonade. Hare rested and sipped lemonade. Bear noticed something moving outside the window. Hare, there goes Tortoise. What? Yelled Hare, running out the door. Hare passed Tortoise for the second time. Then he decided to stop at Mouse's house for a snack. As Hare munched on crackers and cheese, Mouse yelled, "Is that Tortoise I see out the window?" "I'm not worried about that slowpoke," said Hare. "I've passed him twice already." Then he finished his snack and hopped out the door. Hare passed Tortoise for a third time. Now he was far ahead. He saw a pond and decided to stop and rest. The snacks had made him sleepy. Hare was so sure that he would win, he took a nap in the soft grass. He closed his eyes. He dreamed of victory. Suddenly, Hare woke up because the crowd was cheering. "Yay, Tortoise!" the crowd roared. Tortoise was 2 steps away from the finish line. "Slow down, you bow-legged reptile!" screamed Hare as he tried to catch up. But it was too late. Tortoise crossed the finish line just before the tornado of dust and fur that was Hare flew by. Tortoise had won the race. Hare couldn't believe it. That measly shell on his legs had beaten him. Tortoise smiled as his friends carried him on their shoulders. He had learned an important lesson. Hard work and perseverance bring reward. That is The Tortoise and the Hare